Hey, what's up, world? It's Andy again. I'm back for my second set of videos. I got a little bit of advice about my other videos, mainly that they're a little too long, so I promise I'm going to keep this one a little bit shorter. And I really wanted to thank everyone for the support you guys have been pouring in for me and really telling me your stories and really telling me that these issues matter to you, because it really gives me the encouragement to continue on. The next video that I'm going to make is actually going to be a series of videos, and the series of videos is really going to be about overcoming insecurity. I feel like this is a very important topic because at one point or another we all feel weak, and we all have those moments of vulnerability. So to begin, I'm actually going to start with a poem that I've read today, and it's a very important poem to me, and I think it's very relevant in today's world where there's so much uncertainty, and then there's so much mistakes that we've made in the past that we need to let go of. So the poem is called Salutation to the Dawn. And it was actually written by an Indian dramatist, a Hindu dramatist by the name of Kalidasa. And it starts with this. Look to this day, for it is life, the very life of life. In its brief course lie all the verities and realities of your existence. The bliss of growth, the glory of action, the splendor of beauty. For yesterday is but a dream, and tomorrow is only a vision. But today well lived makes every yesterday a dream of happiness, and every tomorrow a vision of hope. Look well, therefore, to this day. Such is the salutation to the dawn. What this poem is really telling us is that these are the ingredients of a happy life. Today is the only day that we have at hand. The past is just for lessons and content, and the future is only but a vision. And when you pray to God every day, you say, give us this day our daily bread. We don't pray for tomorrow's bread. We don't pay for yesterday's bread. We don't complain about yesterday's bread. We really just focus on today's bread, because today's bread is the only bread that we can actually eat. So really the best thing to do is to smile, forgive the past, dream big for the future, and live in the moment. Live for today, work hard today. Some problems in the future that we may have are, they deal with work, they deal with relationships, they deal with your friendships, they deal with, how your family wants you to behave. I know it's a tough day and age, especially if you're living in a city. For the first time, it's possible that the generation going forward, which is our generation, is going to be less successful than the generation that we passed, and that is our parents. And this is especially happening in major metropolis cities where our parents did very, very well coming up in the tech age, the boom age, and just really making a lot of money. And it's unfortunate for us to have to grow up in lesser economical times. But what's happening is that sometimes people take this information and they worry so much about the future that they get very discouraged, and they really feel like they're not doing anything now, and thus they don't do anything now. And this really is just a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you don't put in the work now, we're really not going to do better than our parents in the future. The bottom line is that fear lives in the future. So if you can actually eliminate the future, you actually essentially eliminate fear. And when you eliminate fear, you become fearless. And when you're fearless, nothing will hold you back, and you will be successful in anything that you try. And at the very least, you'll be able to fail and pick yourself up continually over and over again. You miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You'll really learn to embrace failure, and you will use it as the launching pad to your dreams. And in turn, you will not fear failure. And when you do not fear failure, you will have the courage to do and try anything that you want. Now I'm going to shift into something that's a little bit more personal. I'm going to start talking about insecurity and fear of the future in a relationship setting. In a relationship setting now, which is very important, and sometimes I find myself struggling with this too, is that you're focused so much on the future and building a future with someone, because you lose faith in love, and you see all of the divorces out there, and the divorce rates always going high, and all the scandals on TV, Jerry Springer growing up. I actually started watching Jerry Springer when I was like 6. So all this stuff really just ends up messing with your mind. Sometimes in a relationship we can really feel feelings of self-doubt, insecurity, and jealousy. Sometimes you wonder if and how much they care about you. You wonder who they're with all the time. You wonder why they're not calling or messaging you as much as you may be calling or messaging them. You wonder if they even want to chill with you or not. This may be because you feel like you're putting a lot more effort into this than they are, which not necessarily might be true. The only way you'll ever find out is if you read someone's mind, and we all know that that's impossible. That is something that you cannot control, and that is not something you should be thinking about. Because for us to really dwell on things that we cannot control really makes us feel helpless and powerless to change the things that we want to change in our lives. And in turn, feelings that you thought were sincere have now led to destructive behavior. The real secret to alleviating this agony is to really focus on yourself. You got to make yourself the center of your universe, just like in my first video. You now look to yourself and rely on yourself for happiness, and over time you will find that you no longer rely on other people for their happiness, their approval, their validation. Well, of course you're going to risk losing the person, but you got to realize that if it's not going to be them, it'll be someone else. We all have loved in the past, we are loving right now, and we will love again in the future. You have to really start believing that they're just as lucky to have you as you are to have them. But the first thing we really got to do is that we got to start believing in ourselves and being ourselves. Sometimes when we worry too much about the future, we actually lose track of ourselves and we actually start acting like we're worried. And I don't know about you, but when you first meet someone, you're always putting your best foot forward. But sometimes, our emotions get the best of us and we do start acting clingy, we do start acting very attached. And no one really wants that. People always like, the chase. People always like the excitement. People like to feel the electricity in a relationship. And for you to always be readily available all the time for someone to hit you up and, always there and always waiting by your phone to be hit up and stuff like that, that's not very attractive. People really are attracted to people who have their own lives, their own interesting lives and their own hobbies and their own things that they like to do. And you gotta have confidence. Confidence is sexy. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, you will be drawn to confidence. So you really have to have a blinding confidence. And if you really can't at first, sometimes you gotta just fake it till you make it. Once again, nobody said it was easy. It's going to be a very, very long process. The best thing you can do right now is to surround yourself with positivity, because if you're watching this video and it's really hitting home, then you got to know that the best way to get yourself up is to use baby steps. Rome wasn't built in one day, so you really got to surround yourself with very positive thinking, a lot of positive people, and a lot of positive quotes. We're lucky nowadays where we can use the internet for very positive ideas as well, and not just all the negativity that's out there. I would suggest looking up a lot of different articles on just positivity. Read positive poems, download audiobooks. I'm actually listening to Dale Carnegie right now, Stop Worrying and Start Living. It's actually like 9.5 hours long. I've been listening to it at work. I've been listening to it in the car. And it really helps put things into perspective. So in closing, just to summarize, just remember to erase the fear in the future, forget about the past, live in the moment, and be confident. Be yourself, be confident, do not change who you are. You are amazing, you are beautiful, you got a lot to offer, so go get it. Anyways, thanks again guys, and remember to subscribe, comment, like my posts, share my posts, help get the message out, and really send me an email, send me a message if you guys want to have a conversation. I'm really out there to help you guys through your journey as I help myself through mine, and if you guys have good tips for me and good advice for me, I would love to hear it too. Thanks again for watching.